team of the NFC North are your hated Green Bay Packers, Eric Holmes, because you said you hope the Bears go 2-15 as long as the 2 wins are versus the Packers. They are fine. So do you have any games circled on that schedule?
As always, it's the games versus the Bears, but beyond that, I'm looking at a week one versus New Orleans. I think that this one kind of leans New Orleans' way just because it goes to Jacksonville. New Orleans gets to test out that new offense without the home crowd really getting down on them if they struggle. I don't think that they will. I think Alvin Kamara will be a huge factor in this game. Green Bay struggles against the run. Another game that I have circled will be their week 3 game in San Francisco. This is going to be another tough game for the Green Bay Packers. And so, there are a few that are close games that I have them winning against Washington. That's a game that I could honestly see, going either way. I think Washington's going to be better than some people think that they're going to be this year. That game against Kansas City, Week 9, your Kansas City Chiefs. I think the back end of the schedule for the Green Bay Packers is where they really make their bread and butter. I think that they really run the table, after Week 10. I think that they lose one game out of their last 9 games. So I think that's where they're going to make their bread and butter. I think that New Orleans beats them Week 1, San Francisco beats them Week 3. I think the Bears will beat them Week 6 because, like I said, I think Justin Fields is going to be rolling at that point. He's coming in Week 4. I think the Bears will be a much different team after he comes in. I have them losing to Arizona Week 8, losing to Kansas City Week 9. So out of that, they are 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 heading into Week 10. But then they just go nuts. They beat the hell out of Seattle in Green Bay. They go on the road to Minnesota and beat Minnesota. I do have them taking another stumble against LA, and they go into the break at 6-6. But then they come out of the bye week and they beat the Bears, they beat the Ravens, they beat the Browns, they beat the Vikings, they beat Detroit, and they finish the season at 11-6 and win the NFC North.
Yeah, I agree with everything except for winning the NFC North and winning 9 games toward the end of the season, because those are both absolutely false statements coming out of your mouth. So I don't pretty much agree with anything that you say at all, because they will lose to the Detroit Lions week 2 and week 18. I do have them losing to the Bears. Like, I just think the Green Bay Packers are going to kind of stumble this year. I mean, because like looking right out the gate here, they play the Saints, they play the Lions, and then they play the 49ers. I actually had them starting 0-3 this year, and their first win coming against the Pittsburgh Steelers team, which people are kind of riding this Pittsburgh Steelers train, but I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be kind of overhyped this year, as we will break down the North later here in the show. But the game that I have circled is Week 7 here, is when the Washington football team, or the Red Tails, or the Red Hawks, come into town. And it is not because of what the Packers are going to do. I'm kind of curious of what the Washington football team is going to do. Are they for real? And if they are for real, can the Green Bay Packers actually compete with them? Because, I feel like this is a potential playoff matchup if the Green Bay Packers could make the playoffs. I don't know if they are yet, but I have them going 9-8 on the season. And the biggest game circled is that Week 18 game when they travel to Detroit, which they lose that game, which would probably ultimately knock them out of the playoffs. But that Week 18 game is huge as well.
It's funny that you come at me and you say, well, I agree with everything except for they're not going to win the last 9 games. That's absolutely false. You know what else is absolutely false? You have the Lions at 11 wins. You don't get to talk about anybody talking anything that's false when you have the Lions at 11 wins.
Yeah. We will see when you come shaved
Okay.
here come January time.
Okay, and when they're 0-11, you might as well just start trimming down.
So who is going to have a breakout season for the Green Bay Packers?
God, look, Aaron Rodgers is on a mission, and much like I always say that I don't bet against Tom Brady. Remember when Tom Brady had, they suspended him for 4 games because of the Deflategate thing, and then he came out and basically went. I think it was 12-1 or something like that to finish off the season, and ended up winning the Super Bowl. And yeah, so that's what Aaron Rodgers is going to do to the Green Bay Packers here. Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. He did everything he could to get out of Green Bay. They wouldn't budge. They wouldn't let him go. He's like, fine, you know what? I'm going to come back. I'm going to play. Him and Devontae Adams said one last ride. They did the whole Chicago Bulls thing. Aaron Rodgers is going to come out. He is going to win the Super Bowl with the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
And then when they go to hand him the trophy on the stage, he's going to walk off the stage and he's going to flip him the bird.
Wow.
Because that's what Aaron Rodgers is going to. He is going to have a monster season this year. Him, Devontae Adams, any of those Green Bay Packer wide receivers. Even look for Randall Cobb to maybe have a really good comeback player of the year type season with Aaron Rodgers. This team is going to be the real deal in the NFC North. This team is going to be the real deal in the NFC. They could even be the Super Bowl representative. I guess you guys will have to wait to find out what I think about that.
Yeah, and this is coming from a Bears fan, so I mean, obviously that is big breaking news right there.